For my town scene, I've been using a lot of the Metcalf kits as well as some buildings I've made on my own. But I'm now going to start using the Metcalf kit and really customise them to look the way that I want them to look. So this is the terraced house with shop downstairs, and I think they look a bit old-fashioned for my layout. So I'm going to build them and I'm going to show you the process that I go through to make them look better. So this first video I'm going to add LEDs into each of the rooms. So there'll be 4 LEDs in each building, and there's 2 buildings in the set. In these buildings the central section folds in 2 and is a perfect place to hide the wiring. Using the thin enamelled wire I'm able to run it in between and glue the wiring in place. So that's why it's important for me to do the wiring now before I've completed the building. So as you can see, I'm cutting little holes on each of the floors. This is where the wiring is going to come out, and then I'll feed that all through. This enamelled wire that I'm using for the wiring is very thin and is perfect for low voltage, 12 volt, 6 volt, 3 volt stuff. It's difficult to use to start with. I have done a video previously on how to strip the enamel off, and you'll see in this video I'm using that technique. I have sped it up because I have done a video on it previously. So the easiest way I found to run the wires for this one is to cut a section, fold it in half and then feed it through the holes in each of the floors. Once I've done that, then I'll glue the section together, and then the wires will be embedded in the wall, and it won't be visible. And then once I do the interior of the building, I'll be able to actually place the light somewhere where it's inconspicuous, and then any of the wiring which comes out that is visible will be behind any of the internal fixtures and fittings that I put in. So any wallpaper or anything to make the internals of the building look good, the rest of the wiring is going to be hidden. It's a real benefit of using this very thin wire. You may have noticed that I am using LEDs, but I'm not going to be bothered about the polarity at this stage. I'll show you why later. As you can see, I've left this piece to dry overnight, and I have actually marked each of the pairs of cables, the wires, coming from the sections. It's very difficult to see the wire, and that's a really good thing. It's super thin. So now that I've done that, I'm going to be able to start preparing the wire ends for taking the LEDs. I have covered this in the other video. If you haven't seen that, I'll put a link down in the description to that video with the enamelled wire. It's perfect for doing this. It's perfect for doing things where you need a very thin wire, and because it can be shaped, it's also good for where you need precise wiring. So that's why it's going to be good for going behind any other scenery that I use within the building. So now it's time to put the LEDs in. As I said earlier, I'm not bothered about the polarity of the LED. So all I need to do is split the LED legs, tin them, and then connect them directly to the wires. Doesn't matter what way around just now, because all we need to do is connect them to the actual wiring. We'll use a tester in the next stage to find out what polarity they are and then mark them. Now that all the LEDs are connected, it's just in each case I need to test which polarity they are. So on my multimeter I have a continuity test, and this allows me to test the diodes. So when you put them the right way around, the LED will glow just enough so you know that it's turned on, and that gives me the ability to test the LED. I could have used a 2032 battery, 3-volt battery to do this as well, but this is a much better way and it's much more decisive because you know which way around your wires are going to be. To mark them, all I did was folded the lead back, which was the positive, so the red side, just folded it back on itself, and as each of the wires are in pairs, I know which set is which and which way around to connect my wires when I get round to doing the bus wire. I hope you enjoyed this video. This is a little bit different from my other videos that I've done, and I'm doing this in a little bit of a series. So the next time I'll pick up with this model, I will be doing the interiors and doing the shop fronts, making them look a bit more modern. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. And if you didn't like it, thumbs down and leave a comment. Comments are good. I'd like to see some comments and see if I can make the videos any better. Thanks.